welcome back to my channel. If you're a new babe, hit the subscribe button because you're gonna want to stay. If you're returning, hey besties, it's so good to see you again. Y'all, good morning. Just disregard how sleepy I actually sound. I got up at like 6:30 this morning. It's 7:15ish right now. I just made my coffee, so like, you know what? Let's take the first sip together. Okay, now I feel like we can proceed. I'm sorry, it's so early. I filmed this meal prep last night and I wanted to make sure that it got up first thing for you guys this morning. So we are jumping into a meal prep. This is a quick, easy, I mean like quick. Like I think I was in and out of the kitchen within an hour and 15 minutes, cleanup included. Everything was just very quick, very speedy, and just easy to manage one after the other. I don't think I took any shortcuts this time. So if you weren't a fan of the shortcuts, here's how you can have a quick and easy meal prep done in about an hour. Today, I have 3 simple recipes for you. I'm gonna be making some homemade chicken tenders, which I also use to make my snack wraps. I also made some pepper and sausage egg bites. And then of course we need a snack and it has to have chocolate. So I made some chocolate covered rice cakes drizzled with peanut butter. And it's my favorite alternative to the black and white popcorn, you know, like the popcorn with the chocolate drizzle on it. It's my take on it. It's the perfect snack that you're gonna continue to be reaching for because I'm still reaching for it. All right, I'm gonna go enjoy my coffee. You guys go enjoy this meal prep. I see you at the end. So this week coming up, I have a very busy week. So I wanted to make something that was quick and easy and portable, okay? Something I can eat on the go. And what's more perfect than an egg bite? So in the egg bites, I'm gonna use some bell pepper, some sausage, and spinach. We're keeping it real simple. I was gonna throw some potatoes in here, but I just didn't have that in me. But if you like potatoes in yours, definitely add them. We're gonna start by washing and chopping our veggies. I want a fine dice on these peppers because one, I don't want them to be big. I want them to be small and easy to eat, but I also don't feel like standing over the stove trying to cook large chunks of pepper, so we're gonna finely dice them. I'm only gonna make about 8 of these egg bites because I have a short work week. So I'm only gonna use 3 of these breakfast sausage patties and I'm gonna go ahead and break it up just using a spatula. I almost couldn't think of what the name of this utensil was, but a spatula. You can use anything to break it up, but I just find that it helps me to break it up into smaller pieces. And then once it's about 80% browned, I'm gonna go ahead and add in the red bell pepper and my seasonings of choice. I'm just keeping it very basic, you know, red chili powder, garlic powder, you know, the basics. And I'm gonna go ahead and saute that for about another 4 to 5 minutes before I add in some frozen spinach. So once the spinach has been thoroughly heated through, remove it from the heat and allow the mixture to cool, and then we're gonna go ahead and prep our eggs. So onto our eggs, I'm gonna crack 7 eggs. You're only gonna see 6, but this took not a lot of time, but I feel like I just make a mess every time. Oh, let's see, look, a mess. Yeah, let's just wipe that down really quick. And then I'm gonna season lightly with just a little bit of salt, give it a good whisk, and I'm gonna set that aside until the sausage mixture has fully cooled so we can go ahead and put them in the muffin tins. Now, I don't have any spray oil in the house. I need to go to the grocery store and get some. So I'm just brushing the inside of the cupcake tin with a little bit of vegetable oil. And then I'm going to evenly divvy up into 8 portions the sausage mixture, followed up by the egg. And I'm going to fill it up pretty much to the top. And then in the empty spaces, I'm going to fill it with some water. That way they don't burn while they're in the oven. And I'm going to bake them for about 18 to 20 minutes at 350 degrees. Once they're done, we're going to let them sit and let the edges pull away from the tin, and then we're going to cool them on a cooling rack. Moving on, we're getting into making one of my favorite things to prep, which are some chicken tenders. I love chicken tenders, okay? You can use them in anything. They're so versatile. You can put them on sandwiches and salads and wraps, you name it, you can use it. So these are all of the spices and ingredients that I'm going to need for these chicken tenders. Feel free to customize the seasonings though. Y'all know how I do over here. To begin with the chicken, I'm going to go ahead and wash 2 chicken breasts, and I'm going to clean them up a bit, cutting off any additional fat and maybe any impurities that I just don't, want to eat. Cutting that off, and then I'm going to slice them into about 4 or 5 slices for some decent sized chicken tenders, and then we're going to set them aside. Now that all the chicken has been sliced up, I'm going to transfer them into a bowl. And the star of the show really is this ranch seasoning, which is crazy because I don't actually like ranch salad dressing. I think the taste is... I can't tell if I don't like the taste because of the creaminess or what, but I do love the actual seasoning itself. So we're going to use a lot of that, and then we're also going to follow up with my additional basic seasonings: chili powder, paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, and we're going to go ahead and give it a good toss until all of the chicken is coated. Now, of course, for chicken tenders, we need a dredging station. So I'm going to start by cracking 2 eggs in this bowl, and I'm also going to season it with a little bit of, I almost said water. Season it with a little bit of salt and then add a little bit of water to thin it out. I only use 2 eggs because this is only going to make me about 8 to 10 chicken tenders, and I didn't feel like cracking a 3rd egg, especially with the prices of them right now. It's a little high. So we made it stretch with just adding a little bit of water. I like to use panko. I think it's just extra crunchy and crispy. I always do half panko, half protein chips, but I didn't have any protein chips. So we're doing all panko today, and I'm just going to go ahead and season it really well with that ranch seasoning. I started off being like a little stingy, but then I was like, no, Rihanna, go back in because it didn't taste like enough. And I'm also following up with a little bit of garlic powder, giving it a good mix, and that is my breadcrumb mixture. Okay, now you guys know what to do when we dredge our chicken. First, we add it into our wet mixture, and then we coat in our panko. I like to pack this on, so I'm actually going to take my rings off in a second and start using my clean hands. You don't have to use your hands if you don't want to, but I just think for me, I'm able to get the most breadcrumbs packed in by using my hands. So that's what I'm going to do until all of the chicken has been coated. Okay, so here are the chicken tenders. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cook them in batches. I can only fit about 4 big ones or maybe like 5 medium-sized ones in my air fryer. So I'm gonna go ahead and place a thin layer of them down, and then I don't have any spray olive oil, so I have to use this little, what do you call these? Like, it's not a baster. Why am I blanking? Just use this little brush to pack on a little bit of oil just so that it crisps up nicely and doesn't burn. And I cooked them at 380 degrees for about 10 minutes, and this is how they turned out. I ended up turning them over the last 2 minutes so that they cooked on both sides, and they were perfect. So I'm just gonna keep doing this until all of my chicken tenders have been cooked. Okay, so here is the last batch of chicken tenders. They got a little dark on the ends of them, but that's okay. I don't mind it. Y'all know I always burn stuff too, okay? It was unintentional. This was very much unintentional, but I feel like color is flavor, you know what I'm saying? And then here you guys can see a little texture shot. These were so hot, okay? But they taste so good. The ranch seasoning is perfect. Now I'm going to show you guys my favorite way to enjoy them. So I just like a chicken tender on its own with maybe a fry, but I've been loving these little snack wraps that I've been making. So I've been making a little sauce out of some hot sauce and Caesar dressing, and I just give it a good mix until it's at the color and consistency that I like. And then I take a street taco tortilla. I probably next time could get a bigger tortilla, but they work just fine. And I'm going to go ahead, place one of those down, spread on the sauce, sprinkle it with a little bit of shredded lettuce, some shredded cheese, and then top it off with a chicken tender and a little bit more of that sauce. And you guys, this has been like one of my favorite go-to lunches the last couple of months. It's so quick, easy, and it's good. Okay, really, it's good. Now, you know I love me a little sweet treat, okay? Especially when the sweet treat includes chocolate. I am running back this recipe. I made this on my channel like maybe a year or two ago, and I've been thinking about it basically ever since. So we're remaking it, and all you need is a few ingredients. You need some unsalted or lightly salted rice cakes, some chocolate, some coconut oil, and a little bit of peanut butter. I'm using half of the stack of the rice cakes, and I'm gonna go ahead and just break them up into bite-sized pieces. You don't want them too big, and you don't want them too small. Okay, in a bowl, you're gonna take some chocolate chips. My depth perception is off because I thought that ramekin would be large enough to like melt it, but I just knew I was gonna make a mess. So I'm transferring it into a bowl and then adding a little bit of coconut oil. I would say you need roughly about a cup to a cup and a half of chocolate chips and 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. And I melted that in the microwave for about 40 seconds. And I'm just giving it a good mix until it's nice and smooth and shiny. And I just really want to eat this bowl of chocolate right here, right now, as it is. Like, I didn't even want to put it on the rice cakes, but you know, I'm just showing y'all that I do have a little bit of self-control. Once the chocolate is all melted, go ahead and pour the whole thing, okay? Don't try to eat the chocolate, okay? Have some decorum, but pour all the chocolate that you have on top of the rice cakes. And honestly, I feel like I needed more. I only used about a cup of chocolate chips, which is why I said use about a cup and a half of chocolate chips, but we still got the job done. This gave me a nice thin layer of chocolate. It was just enough without being too much. Mix it well so that I would say about 95% of the rice cake pieces are coated almost completely, but it's still nice to kind of see the bright white color popping through. Once it's all mixed, go ahead and transfer it onto a baking sheet, and you want to get it into a single layer so that when we freeze it, everything sets really nicely and you can break them up into smaller pieces if needed. Now this is optional, but I like to drizzle mine with a little peanut butter just for a little razzle dazzle. I was really struggling trying to get it out of this little pouch, but maybe I should read the directions next time. It said to knead it before and I didn't. So I got it all out and then I noticed that it was a little separated. So I just popped it in the microwave to melt the peanut butter a little bit, and then it became this smooth, creamy peanut butter drizzle. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix that really well and then drizzle it all over the chocolate covered rice cakes. This is just for a little extra oomph, you know, just trying to be a little extra, if you will, you know what I'm saying? Totally optional though if you don't like peanut butter. I just like the way this also looks and tastes, but more so for the vibes. When everything has been drizzled, go ahead and pop it into the freezer for about, I would say 30 minutes. I let mine sit for 30 minutes. It could have sat for longer, but honestly, it really won't matter because you're gonna store it in the freezer just to keep it. Anyway, I'm gonna use a spatula to go ahead and get it from off of this sheet pan. It took about a couple of minutes, but we got there. And then I'm gonna transfer it into a glass meal prep container that has an airtight lid, and I'm just going to store it in the freezer. But y'all, this is literally so good. It's like crispy, airy, crunchy, a little sweet, a little salty. This is a perfect snack. I'm just showing you guys everything that we prepped for the day. Honestly, this meal prep took about 1 hour and 15 minutes, cleanup included. Everything was super quick and easy. I loved it, and everything tastes good, okay? That's what really matters. So yeah. All right, you guys, so that is gonna conclude this week's meal prep. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know what your favorite recipe was, and let me know if there's anything that you wanna see me feature on a meal prep, whether it's a not so healthy recipe and I make it healthy, or if you just wanna see my take on something that you really like. Let me know down below. All right, well, that's gonna be it for this meal prep. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Also, be sure to turn on your post notifications. That way you can be notified every time your girl drops a new video. And until next time, babes, I'll see you in my next.